Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this wearable Nezuko bamboo piece. These are all the materials we're going to be using today, but most importantly is going to be the roll. This is a little bit more sturdy than your normal toilet paper roll. It's from a special roll of paper from Michaels, and if you don't have something this sturdy that I had to cut with a saw, I would suggest putting maybe a couple toilet paper rolls together, stacking them inside of each other to make them more sturdy so your bamboo doesn't bend after wearing it. And just cut out the width that you want your bamboo stripes to be. I would suggest using hot glue. It dries a lot faster, but I could only find my Tacky glue, so I'm just putting it on, and Tacky glue works best in a thin layer, so I'm just painting it out with a paintbrush I don't care about and spreading it out all over it. And then just wrap this one. I started with the very outside one, and you just push it down. And then with Tacky glue, and sometimes with hot glue, you want to take some tape and tape it down in place while it dries, just so you don't accidentally bump it and it dries a little wonky. My only tip for the second one is that if you are using tape to hold down your first one, don't glue on top of the tape because you'll need to take it off later, and also make sure your seams are all lined up, so put where they connect all on the same side for all 4 of these. And once it's dry, carefully remove the tape. You don't want to accidentally rip off all your hard work. With painting, I decided to go with these 3 colors. I did not have a black on hand, but I did have a deep forest green that I mixed with this more teal seafoam green, and I think it gave a very close color to what Nezuko's bamboo looks like. This is a very subjective part. Go ahead and paint it however you want, but I'm just going to give you the basic layout for how to make this look really good. My biggest rule for cosplay is the 5-foot rule. As long as it looks good from 5 feet away, you have done a perfect job. So what you want to do is exaggerate the highlights and exaggerate the shadows, and it'll look fantastic from anyone not within your breathing space. Now you don't want to paint on the inside of the tube yet, and we'll find that out later. For shadows, I would suggest not going in with straight black for a shadow, so I am just using the forest green that I could mix with a black. I didn't have any, but you want to put it in the creases where the bamboo stripes are, and we're going to be using a modified version of dry brushing where you paint a heavy layer into the cracks, and then you put a dry paper towel or a dry brush on top of that, and you wipe off all the excess, and the only parts that are left behind are the parts that simulate shadows. And you can do whatever you want with the shading. I like to pull it off across the entire thing. You could take a couple hours to make it tedious and look beautifully like an actual piece of bamboo. This is completely up to you. And then for highlight, I'm starting off with a straight white. I would suggest mixing it with a little bit of green, but we're gonna put it on the top of the bamboo stripes just to highlight them. And now this is the part that will keep this placed perfectly on your face. This is elastic. So you want it to be taut against it. You do not want it to be stretched or tight. You just want it to lay flat. And we're going to be gluing it on the inside of the tube. Now make sure you're putting the elastic right where the seams are from where you glued it, because you want those to be near your face. You don't want those to be out to people taking pictures. And hot glue is highly recommended for this part, but overall the same process still applies. I'm going to be gluing it on the inside and putting duct tape over the ends, just so there's less of a possibility of it snapping back at me. And I would not suggest any other type of tape. Duct tape is where it's at. Now we can paint the inside. So it's not as important. We're actually going to be putting more on the inside of this tube, but now that you have the tape in there, you can paint over the tape and give it a more shadowed look. This is the one we just made. It's wet and I don't want to wait for it to dry. This is one I made like a day ago. So I'm going to show you that the piece of fabric that Nezuko uses to wrap it around her face, you can go ahead and just slip that through. If you cared more and you were going to a con, I would suggest hemming this fabric and making it look nice, but for now this is what we're going to use. Hi, it's me. So I'm going to show you how this works. So the first thing you want to do is take the elastic and you're going to bite it. I like to put it all the way back to my molars, as tight as you want it to be, and then you take the fabric and tie it around your neck. Now this is actually the perfect setup, because for pictures you put the elastic in your mouth, and when you want to talk, the fabric holds it on your neck like a necklace. I really hope you guys enjoyed today. I would love it if you liked the video or subscribed. I do post every Friday. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.